Welcome back to Less Than Geek. My name is Travis.
And I am Reverend Joe.
And today we are continuing our coverage of the Star Wars LCG Regional tournament that was in St. Petersburg, Florida on May 2nd.
Was it Critical Hit Games? Right?
Critical Hit Games, yep, in St. Petersburg. This is another game from the top 8, double elimination cut. So at this point, all 8 players are still in the event. This is a 1-0 winners bracket game, whatever. So I'm playing light over on the right, and Bart, who is one of the local players, local meta, is playing over on the left. So he's got a straight Sith deck with 2 each of Vader, Emperor, Council, Executor, and Prophetess. And over on the right, this
thing, yes.
So I literally went down to the tournament. I was there like maybe an hour ahead of time, sitting in the parking lot, wanted to review some of the more recent cards that came out. I was a little worried about desperation and let me look through these and see like what would I do to deal with it, whatever. I was gonna play just like a regular Jedi deck that I had together, and then as I was looking through it and I was kind of like, well, how would I abuse it? Well, you want to make sure you draw it, so it'd probably be pretty good with Defense of Yavin, mill through your deck. Oh, well, what about this other deck that lets you draw extra cards when you play guys? Oh, man, now all of a sudden I got this synergy going between this card and that card and that card. Okay, this is happening. So I just threw it together and walked in, and at this point, it is undefeated in this tournament. It was 4-0 in the Swiss.
Fairly good. Yeah.
Seemed to work. So and it's this sort of deck. There's been a little talk about decks like this with desperation in it. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is like it's purely theoretical and 10 is it's a concrete fixture in the meta, it's still at like a 3 though. This was probably the first time that it had this level of success at this level of event. I mean, obviously it wasn't really around for store championships. I got word from, there was only a couple other regionals in the country on this first weekend. I got word from, some of them, people talking about, well, someone tried something similar to it or this or that, but I don't know. This one, it just went off. So the exact list, because it's already out there and, just forget about it. It's going to happen. Is 2 Defense of Yavin, 2 Rogue 3, and then 2 of the hobby Rogue Squadron Assault new objective, 2 of the, obviously the Y-Wing Desperation objective called Arms, and a couple copies of the Outrider. That's probably something that a lot of the other people that have attempted haven't put in. It's probably like straight Rebel to play like Home 1. And Home 1's solid, but the Outrider itself can almost do as much damage as Home 1 for 3 costs instead of 5. And honestly, in this tournament, I didn't even use the Outrider's tricks at all. Like the ship itself of moving into an engagement, it just didn't even come to that. And it totally could do that. But it's the extra copies of Stay on Target and the extra copies of the pilot resource card that were extremely helpful. And I'd rather have that than 2 more hidden outposts.
Oh,
that's what comes with Home 1. I'd rather have the objective is all right. It's like middle of the road, but I'd rather still have a 2 resource objective than the one that says vehicles can't attack this.
Well, one of the advantages of having the Spacer Cantinas over the hidden outposts is those are not limited.
Yeah, that too.
You're looking at a deck with a large number of resources that are in fact not limited. It reduces the number of bad hands you can start with. You won't get that flood of having too many resources and not being able to play them.
So you get extra stay on targets as opposed to extra target of opportunities. That's kind of a wash, but man, there's sometimes you grab that wedge back, it's awesome, or whatever. So I don't know. I actually was kind of liking it, and you get that extra pilot. Lebo did some awesome things in this tournament. The Outrider may have only done so much, but Lebo actually, I'm pretty sure Lebo's about to do horrible things on the very next turn here.
Yep. So looking at the game that we're playing right now, it looks like Bart has started off a very strong start of having Vader hit the table first turn.
Yep.
Being able to commit him to the Force to take that, which is going to be a hard one for you to take away from with a Rebel deck. There's not generally that many icons going on.
Yep.
Looks like he has a Sith Holocron going on there, which allows him to threaten a very strong turn the next turn.
Yeah. So on his second turn there, he played a weenie and played an aggression to blow up the red 2 with some sort of pilot on it. I think a wedge that I had on, that was my first turn play. So yeah, he just wiped the board off. Looks pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna put out Lebo for 1 because he's -1 from the thing I'm pointing to. Okay, so he's on foot. He doesn't have any game text, but he has a white tactics.
And again, this is one of those times when playing the new stuff could be challenging. You see Bart's having to look at a lot of the cards, read them again, just to make sure he's familiar with them. It's not something he's seen before. And that's especially against a control build like the Sith.
Yeah.
The Sith live and die by knowing what you're going to do next. If you can be unexpected, you have a much better chance of winning.
Yeah, this deck came with people sideways, as Shepherd Book would say. So Lebo is the only tactics icon in the deck. Now we have a Rogue 3 sitting here. Okay, it's nice and harmless. Doesn't have anybody on it. Okay, well never mind. There's that guy. I thought I was gonna.
No, that's the Gray Squadron pilot, which is going to give him additional unit icons.
Yeah. So, Rogue 3 math here. It may have been a while since people had seen it, but so it has 2 black objective damage. Then it gets 1 more black unit damage and objective damage for each enhancement on it. So that puts it at one unit and 3 objective, right?
Now, let's be fair, Mr. Cooper. Back when you used to do the math for this, it was all addition. Now with this guy here, now it's multiplication. Yeah. That's a very different animal.
So he's got 1 unit and 3 objective damage. Then that guy gives him another unit damage for every objective damage he has. So now it's got a grand total with just the Gray Squadron Gunner on it and nothing else of 4 black unit damage and 3 black objective damage. So if Vader were to defend against it and I won the edge battle, I could just shoot Vader in the face.
No, I believe that's 7 total icons?
Yeah.
For 3 cost?
Yeah, because that guy was 0 on there. With
I believe that's
I guess he costs 1, but, because I already used a reduction on Lebo. But yeah, for 4, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
maybe, and I could have Defense of Yavin if I wanted to. But yeah, so Lebo ends up...
looks like he got killed by a deadly sight, it looks like.
Yeah. No, I don't know why he discarded that. Oh,
was it the edge battle, I suppose?
I think, yeah, it was just the edge battle. Yeah, like I threw something in, make him throw something. Oh, here we go. It's 2 target opportunities. Okay, so I was thinking I play to stay on target to get wedge back and then use wedge to strike twice. But no. What I did was target opportunity twice, swing with the 3 icons on it. So since the actual strike deals a killing blow, not unopposed, doing it, I can trigger call to arms because a piloted vehicle's strike did it to destroy a unit committed to the force. Vader dies. So now Rogue 3 sitting on
the board. Now we have a 4-cost unit with 7 icons that just took off the mighty Vader.
Yeah, and
for the low price.
Doesn't it seem like every time you're playing Sith against one of these decks, it could be Rebels, it could be Sleuths a year ago, whatever. Any deck that's quick like that, every time an objective blows up, guess what you flip up? Emperor's Web, because it's got 4 health every time.
And the groaning commences.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, things change here a bit. So you're going to use a holocron. All right, we get a free Force Lightning on it. That's fair. I accept that. So then he plays his other holocron down. Okay. Okay, here's a Chud. The little Dark Jedi Apprentice.
Is that his official title?
Yeah. So we got the Dark Jedi Apprentice, the little weenie that comes with Vader, and then we have the Acolyte, whatever his name is. It comes with the Saris. That when he attacks, if you don't have 2 Force icons or whatever, you can't defend. Yeah.
For your old school Star Wars players, that's Prophetess.
Yeah. So all he has is those
from
2.
Premiere.
Well, it's not actually the same character, but it's a different Prophetess.
Really?
She's from the Cal Katarn game, man.
It's not as canon anyway.
Yeah, right. Okay, so he grabs the Force of that guy. Okay, so he's got these 2 sitting around. Let's see what we do here. We're going to refresh. So we got 1 objective down, but all his other ones are unscathed, and he did get rid of Rogue 3. Rogue 3, well, I guess, and Home 1. Like, those are units that since the dawn of time have just had, I think they got a built-in lightning rod.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems that way. They're just kind of like Force Lightning me. Just happens. Okay, so we're going to see what, havoc we can unleash here. That looks like another of the pilot resource cards.
Yeah, I believe that's the
yellow
the
one. But yeah,
smaller one.
Same different, but now I got that -2 reduction. So basically, I can play a pilot for free. The first pilot I play every turn is free. In addition to just being 1 money. Okay, here's just a lowly generic snowspeeder. Nothing too frightening. I'm deciding if I want to, pay full money or discard. I did actually screw up there. I drew a card for the snowspeeder. So I think that was one of the only times that happened. You have to actually have a pilot or a fighter to draw the card. There's only that couple of speeders in the deck, so I don't think it happened very much during the tournament. But yeah, just getting used to it. Again, it was brand new with the deck. Everybody else didn't know what any of these cards did either. So I drew 1 extra card there. But other than that, so now Rogue 2's going in with nothing on it, looking nice and suspicious with no pilot on it.
This is another one of those times where it's important that he doesn't specifically know what you're playing in this deck or what a lot of the cards do, because
right,
if you had more information, you could make a more educated guess about whether or not you defend here or whether you let it go.
Yeah, he might be aware of the fake card. Kevin, one of the other players, some of the other people, I mean, they were trying to kind of factor that in, and obviously they can kind of see for the most part what pilots you could use based on your discard.
Well,
but,
I mean, it also lets you play with your hand, so
there's that too. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure there's that much he could have done. I guess he figured he's blocking unopposed, but yeah, now Wedge is coming out with stand.
For all he knows, you're playing the Lando pod.
Right.
Stranger things
after one of my games early on, someone was asking, "Wait, what's in the Lando pod?" Because they were trying to figure out if that was in there. Okay, so now with Wedge, what we're gonna do? We're gonna strike once, so we got 1 unit damage and 3 blast damage, right? With just the 1 enhancement. So we strike once, so we put a damage on that guy. We put 3 on the objective. And we take 1 back from that guy, and I decide to go ahead and use it a second time in the same engagement instead of, a separate attack, because then I shoot that guy dead with the 1 unit damage.
Yep.
And then by actually blowing it up without the thing I called, without unopposed, like the actual strike, I used called arms. And this is about the time he's just like, good lord, just because it's blowing up everything that's on the board, the generic Snowspeeder puts 2 on the Emperor's Web, so now it's 2 away from dead, and there's 2 dead objectives. And yes, at this time I have a Rebel Assault in my hand. I just have no money left, so I just have to sit here. It's one of the 2 cards, you can barely see it there. I just have to sit here while he plays his turn, and then when it gets back to me, the dial just ticked up to 7, because he's had the Force the whole time, so it went like 1, 3, 5, 7. But
that's not a bad number for him to be at, but
yeah,
it doesn't look like you have a whole ton of things on the board, but it's a precarious position.
I mean, even with what's on the board there, if he doesn't, lightning that Rogue 3 again or something, Rogue 3 with Wedge when you're 2 away from dead is pretty rough, He gets the Emperor out here with the Holocron and plays like a guard or maybe even just some other, weaker 2-cost guy or something. Yeah, the counselor or whatever. And okay, he's gonna go in and put down, try to lock me down or something. Fair enough. But like I said, I'm just sitting on that Rebel Assault. Really, yeah, no, he's doing exactly what he can. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, but in that position,
saying,
he's not even keeping that unit from attacking. He's keeping it from attacking twice.
Yeah, and I mean that's still maybe worthwhile though.
Probably,
especially because he's got the Emperor to defend too. So if he tactics it down, yeah, okay, there it is.
And we're done.
Yeah, for the record, the other card on the top of the deck is another Rebel Assault. Like I didn't draw up my other 4 cards yet, actually, because I did that before I drew. But yeah, brutal. So,
right. Well, folks, that was our game. We'll have more from this tournament coming up here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to don't get cocky.
Yep, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.